You probably know a few incredibly wealthy people who aren't necessarily the smartest people in the room. Wealth rarely comes from raw, isolated genius. Instead, it comes from building social capital, the ability to navigate human interactions and build vast networks. Think about the mechanics of a transaction. Every single dollar you will ever earn currently sits in someone else's pocket. Extracting it requires you to communicate, connect, and negotiate. This starts with the most baseline social skill of all, standing up for yourself. Whenever you interact with someone new, there is a subtle, ongoing negotiation happening, but the currency isn't money, it is respect. People will test you by talking over you or dismissing your time. If you let those moments slide, you teach them exactly how poorly they can treat you. High-level circles demand a clear signal of self-worth. If you fail to draw those boundaries early and calmly, those networks will permanently filter you out of lucrative opportunities. Once you secure a seat at the table, you run into skill number 2, small talk. Most ambitious people hate this. They view discussing the weather or weekend plans as a shallow chore that just delays the real conversation. But small talk serves a vital psychological function. It is a safety signal. Strangers are naturally guarded. Simple questions bypass the brain's defense mechanisms, proving that you are a safe person to engage with before moving to deeper topics. That baseline trust makes skill 3, networking, actually work. Rather than just hoarding contacts on LinkedIn for yourself. By treating small talk as a safety check and networking as an act of service, you stop being an unknown outsider. You become a trusted node in a larger web, and people begin associating your name directly with new opportunities. Moving from one-on-one interactions to group dynamics requires a different discipline, collaboration. To actually function as a team player, you have to subordinate your personal ego to the shared outcome of the group. That creates intense friction. Humans naturally want their own ideas recognized. Letting go of the desire to take individual credit in order to secure a team victory takes serious restraint. When those egos clash, you need skill 5, conflict resolution. Many teams get stuck because they assume making progress requires getting everyone in the room to unanimously agree on a plan. You can break that deadlock by forcing people to disagree well. Jeff Bezos institutionalized a principle for this called disagree and commit. You vigorously debate the decision, state your case, and then someone makes a final call. Even those who completely opposed the idea must then execute it perfectly. High-level groups do not need absolute harmony on the methods they use. They only need an unbreakable commitment to the final goal. Once a team is aligned, you have to secure the resources to act. That requires negotiation.
Rather than treating it as a combative battle to squeeze the other side, negotiation is the precise mathematical act of quantifying your specific value to the market. You have to know exactly what you bring to the table before making an offer. Demanding too much makes you look out of touch, while asking for too little makes you look inexperienced. Either mistake destroys trust before a deal even formally begins. Once you establish your value, you have to move the other party to action through selling. And to do that, you have to strip away the stereotype of the fast-talking salesperson aggressively pushing products people do not need. True selling requires diagnosing a hidden problem, guiding an unaware prospect to realize they face an issue requiring help. Then you prove the problem is solvable, must be solved now, and that your approach is the logical fix. Systematically selling solutions to problems while clearly defining the precise value of your time serves as the engine that drives all major financial transactions. Scaling a business requires delegation. This is an exercise in emotional intelligence, requiring a leader to map an individual's unique psychological strengths to specific challenges. You have to understand exactly what motivates your team to know which tasks they will execute with excellence. When you align down neat strengths with the right work, the quality of the output increases without you having to touch the project yourself. Once you have the right people executing, you need a way to align their vision. This brings in skill 9, public speaking. Forget the intimidating mental image of standing nervously in a spotlight on a stage. Public speaking is simply the scalable ability to implant an idea. Whether you are speaking to one partner across a table or 1,000 people in an arena, the goal is to present a concept so clearly that it captivates their attention for days.
While delegation allows you to organize physical action across a team, public speaking allows you to align mass belief. Combining the two creates an ultimate multiplier for scaling your influence. The final skill is rarely viewed as a social tool, but it dictates the quality of the information you receive. Interviewing. This is the delicate art of extraction. Asking a generic question yields a generic answer, but asking a targeted question forces the subject to expand their own thinking. It proves you understand them deeply, which builds trust faster than any other tactic. Wealth follows information. When you ask a question that makes a potential partner see their own problem from a new angle, you are identifying bottlenecks they haven't even vocalized yet. Helping them reach that breakthrough makes you an indispensable partner, rather than just another contact. Setting firm boundaries earns you respect. Resolving team friction keeps you moving. Aligning mass belief scales your reach. The continuous, deliberate application of these 10 skills provides the definitive architecture for lasting wealth.